There's the stat that I always think is crazy. The average American, I think, has fewer than 3 friends. And the average person has demand for meaningfully more. I think it's like 15 friends or something. But the average person wants more connectivity and connection than they have. So, there's a lot of questions that people ask of stuff like, okay, is this going to replace in-person connections or real-life connections? And my default is that the answer to that is probably no. I think that there are all these things that are better about kind of physical connections when you can have them. But the reality is that people just don't have the connection and they feel more alone a lot of the time than they would like. So I think that a lot of these things that today there might be a little bit of a stigma around, I would guess that over time we will find the vocabulary as a society to be able to articulate why that is valuable and why the people who are doing these things, why they are rational for doing it and how it is adding value for their lives. But also I think that the field is very early. There are a handful of companies and stuff who are doing virtual therapist and virtual girlfriend type stuff, but it's very early.
All right, so we're talking here about this video with Mark Zuckerberg, and he's talking about AI companions being a valuable solution for people who don't have connections. So I'm not going to comment on his hair. That's a cheap shot and low-hanging fruit. And actually, it's not so bad. He doesn't really look like a Molly dealer, in Ibiza. But anyways, he's saying that there's a valuable solution for people who don't have connections. On the surface, again, this sounds compassionate, maybe even noble. And yes, there might be some examples where it can be a stopgap solution. But like so many of these narratives around technology, I think it misses a much deeper point and a much harsher reality. And it really feels like, of course, he's going to say it's a good idea because he's investing billions of dollars in friends. But let's just look at Facebook as an example. Has having a lot of Facebook friends made you feel less lonely? Has it solved the problem of loneliness and meaning and connection? Of course not. It's done exactly the opposite. Not only that, the algorithms on Facebook are not actually designed to build friendships. They're designed to build echo chambers. They're designed to hijack your limbic system and to get you to engage with people in a way that has a lot of conflict.